Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about this Marvel's 80th anniversary edition in Marvel Strike Force. Specifically, how can you efficiently, maybe to the best of your abilities, get those Namor shards, you know, with the bombastic Blitz or the Orbs away, etc. For me personally, I'm a huge Blitzer. I've got over 20,000 wins in Blitz. I do it a lot. You know, I've found tips and tricks for getting wins, obviously. You know, none of it's super secret, but I just want to show you guys kind of how I'm approaching this. Some of you might already know it and others might not. So my hope is that for those of you who don't know how to kind of optimize yourself here, that this video will definitely help in that regards. There's a lot of different teams that you can use. Obviously, you know, the Marvel 80th tag is a specific to just certain teams that you might not normally have together. So I kind of cover how I've approached this, especially given the amount of saved teams that we've currently got in the game. Hint, hint, Fox next. I know we need, or you've said 5 more, but we need like 10 to 15, especially with an event like this. So anyway, having said that, let's get into it and see exactly how I'm approaching this thing. All right, first, let's talk about the event real quick. So we've got these two things going on, Blitz and Orbs away. If you haven't seen them, you know, obviously there's a you know, milestones here that you can get, and these are specific, as you can see, one's an alliance and one's solo. So, you know, the alliance one, obviously you've got other alliance mates that are playing into this, but this is specifically what you can do and maybe encourage your alliance to do. I'm specifically the leader of my line, so I've kind of, you know, we're not demanding people do it, but we encourage it because there's shards that will help everybody. So anyway, let's look at specifically here. It just says win, you know, Blitz battles with featured characters, which are the obviously Marvel 80th. So if you go here, there's a participation tab, which again only goes to 16, which is a little frustrating, but it is what it is. And then you've got these milestones where you can see they have a ton of Namor shards and obviously these Marvel anniversary orbs. So these are really kind of nice to see, where you can kind of eventually get a whole bunch of Namor shards if you and your alliance are hitting these items. So the scoring, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but it's in there, says that win a battle blitz with a Marvel 80th character, 20 points. If you have 5 on a team, it's 100. So you really want to make sure that you're using all of your Marvel 80th characters and getting wins in Blitz. And then win a Blitz battle in general is 3 points. So that's 3 points is kind of, you know, not really as important as winning with these Marvel 80th characters. So you really want to make sure that you've got them done right. And when I say got them done right, what I mean specifically is make sure you have them on a team and you're using them. Now, somewhat tied to this event, or is tied to this event, is obviously the Orbs away, which are specific to those Marvel Anniversary Orbs. So as you can see here, open the Marvel Anniversary Orb to score points and earn various milestone rewards. So let's go here. And again, this is a solo one, and the scoring here is just to simply open an orb. I mentioned before in the Bombastic Blitz that you can get those Marvel 80th orbs there. So that is really kind of like the foundation of both of these milestones that you want to get for your Namor shards. So you really want to do these blitzes if you want to get Namor. So a lot of people are going, well, I don't have time to blitz. It's I get it. I 100% get it. Working, family, children, you know, whatever you might have, you know, friends, etc. One of the tips I do want to say to you before I get into the teams is pocket blitzing. Any blitzing is better than no blitzing. So, you know, pick your team, click auto, stick it in your pocket, check it, you know, in a few minutes or whatever when you can, pick it back up. Whatever the result is, it is. It's better than nothing. So I call that pocket blitzing. So if you can't do anything, maybe try to pocket blitz. So now, having said all this, let's get to exactly how I approach this thing. Okay. All right, now first I have to give a shout out to Fox next here. So a lot of people might have been like, oh, Iron Fist, really? Like, I don't need to blitz Iron Fist. I think Fox next did us a super solid here. A lot of people already have Iron Fist high up, if not 7 stars. He's farmable. He's a character that's desired early on in the game, so you might not necessarily need him. So because of that, you're actually able to do about what I'm going to show you as far as getting shards, because you might not be worried about getting 35, 85, or more Iron Fist shards. You just need to blitz. So let's see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so you can see I'm only in tier 4 right now, and it's been, you know, a day since the blitz started. And you can see if I go to my rewards, I'm already done. And I've collected everything but my, you know, health or my raid health, just because I don't collect those until I actually need them. But I'm done with these, you know, milestones. So what I've now done, and I'll show you kind of how I got here, is I went all the way up to tier 8, and then I drop back down. You just need to lose to drop back down. So I'm gonna go through the drop back down now, and the teams that I'm gonna use are just ones that I don't either have a Marvel 80th character on, or that I don't auto when I normally blitz. So I'm not gonna sit here and laboriously show you through every single one of these teams, but I am going to show you how I started. So let's kind of just get through it. So now I'm at tier 4, so I've tried to find my highest ranked team. Now I know what my team is. You might or might not, but I know the characters that I need to pick here. Now Hawkeye's an 80th, so I don't want to pick him. He's not on one of my teams regularly. Scarlet Witch, same thing. Night Nurse, however, is not. Merc Lieutenant is not. Venom is not. Gamora is not. And Winter Soldier. So this is the first time I've got. Now, ideally, so I'm looking to lose this battle. So ideally, I could find Defenders or Brotherhood, and I think that was a Brotherhood team. Perfect. So I can battle this. I should be able to auto this and lose. So I'll click auto and just let it go. And then the goal is just to, you know, let it lose and drop down, and then you do this until you get to tier 1, and then you build back up. So I'll just walk through this one again. You might have to basic here, so that's the other part that I kind of wanted to show you guys. But otherwise, I'm going to kind of, when I'm not doing anything, I'm going to be just speeding up the video so you get the idea. It's like, this is what's happening, so you don't have to sit there and watch a 45-minute long, you know, WolverThor blitzing video to get to what you need. So auto time. Done with number 1. All right, now new team. Let's get these guys out of here. I think around Merc Lieutenant, or no, Winter Soldier was my last. So Hand Assassin, Elektra, Carnage. And the reason I'm picking these higher characters first is because I'm at a higher tier. So I want to make sure that I don't have these when I get down to like tier 2 or tier 3 where they could likely win. All right, so I don't have a great team here, so this is the part I kind of wanted to show you guys, or a great like guaranteed loss. So I kind of want to show you guys how I approach something like this. So I'll walk through this a little bit slower, and this applies for no matter where you're at. If it's lower, if you don't have a team that you're like, ooh, I don't think I can lose here, this is what I normally do. I just kind of make sure that I basic, and I click on evades. I click on characters that are, you know, higher power, higher strength, they're gonna hit me back, etc. Also characters that'll heal. So I'm gonna go over to Captain Marvel now. Wow, I would have gone to Captain Marvel. And even getting someone like Hulk down to 50% so he nukes you, it's good news. You want to lose. This part's the part that's slightly annoying, I will say. But ideally you can just auto and through the losses. I don't want to kill her. Alright, this is probably pretty much, yeah, no. So at this point I know I'm gonna lose, so I click auto. So again, let's get down to tier 1 and build it back up, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do from there. Now here I gotta be careful not to pick Thor because I know he's a Marvel 80th, so I gotta skip him. Okay, so now we're down to tier 1. So this is the part where I've already kind of ahead of time figured out my team makeup of knowing as far as what save squads have all the 80th characters and which ones I was missing. So you can kind of see all my teams here. I'm not going to go through them in detail on which one's 80th and which one's not. I already did this before. So I got to the point where I had one save squad open that I was using for an arena team. So I had that whenever I needed to set my arena defense, etc. I'd click that team. So, but I just happened to have 5 Marvel 80th characters that didn't, that weren't on any team. So I took those 5 and dumped them onto one final team. And what I did, and you can see it's a kind of a ragtag group here at the bottom. This was my 5 remaining teams. So now, since this is such a ragtag group, this is the team I use in tier 1.1. And then everything else, I kind of just go through and auto. You know, I just pick them and make sure that I, you know, either auto or win. Ideally, it's, you know, you obviously want to get a win, but, and look, if you're really into the 80th and don't care about blitzing, maybe you need multiple Marvel 80th teams to win, you know, maybe you drop your career or something like that. Now, I will say that on the day yesterday when I had to use all the charges from the challenges, the Blitz charges, it was kind of a pain in the butt because you got to use, what, 3 or 4 teams to be able to get back up to 500, so you got to get down to like 170 to collect all your charges. That was a bit of a pain. I had to kind of selectively go through there and be like, it's like, that's where I really was like, Fox next, come on, more safe squads. Like, at least in Blitz, give us, you know, 20 or something. You know, it's just nuts. So I mean, all of these are specifically for Blitz. I have no room in any of my safe squads for any other teams. So anyway, let's get to this bottom team. Again, it's super ragtaggy. I just try to find a team. It's like, who am I guaranteed to pretty much win against? All these guys are kind of lame. Yeah, that one shouldn't do too much. And you just blitz. You just go through, and sometimes you can auto, and if it looks like it might be dicey, then maybe you get to a point where you've, you know, done a couple abilities, then auto. Or you just pocket blitz, where it's just, you know, and you take whatever you can get. And that's, you know, great, because it's better than 0, and it helps your alliance and you out. I'm just basically making sure that I can auto here. It looks like it shouldn't be a problem. So, auto through this, auto through the next, auto through the next, all the way up to, you know, tier 4 something or another. And, you know, I might click a different character here, like Deadpool just looked like he hit hard. So I was like, oh, I should probably kill him first. So, yeah, you just build it up and, you know, again, you watch if you can, and if you can't, pocket blitz. Get those points, collect those orbs, you know, and get your Namor, you know, and, you know, if you care about War and Namor and the Fantastic Four. Again, I'm pretty high on the Fantastic Four. I know Namor is just basically a war machine, and he's not going to be anything other, or not very useful in really any other modes besides that, but you know, right now, Fox Next is saying they want to make that kind of the key anchor of the game, and you know, there are a lot of rewards in there that you can kind of that really help you and your alliance build your strength up. So for me, I think Fantastic Four is, you know, good, because I do believe they're gonna, you know, be able to knock out some higher teams in a war. And, you know, for those alliances that are maybe just like on the cusp of, you know, clearing, etc., I think this could be, you know, very helpful. For those higher end teams, this might not make a difference because you're already clearing everything anyway. But for the lower ones, I do think it matters. Actually, I should be able to auto this. Sinister 6 can't auto this low. You got a problem. And again, so I'm just, you know, I'm going through this. You don't necessarily need to see this in, you know, slow motion, me talking through the whole thing. I'm just gonna, you know, go through these. I might stop and talk at some point just to tell you kind of why I maybe did something. But generally speaking, I'm gonna fly through this and get to the end of this thing. Okay, so we're wrapping up our last battle here for all of our teams. That, you know, took whatever it took. It's slower on blue stacks than it is typically for the phone. Just the blue stack seems to be a little bit laggy. It's better than it was. So normally what I would do here is just be done. So one of the things that I want to mention to you that I did while that was going on is when I've got about, depending on how many teams you've got in your arsenal for Blitz, when I've got about 5 or 6 teams left, I set a timer so that I know when I can come back and redo all of this. And then when that timer goes back off, what I'll do is exactly what you guys saw me start this video with, is with the highest team that I've got that I don't use for Marvel 80th or on a team, and start losing, get down to tier 1. Now, one of the things that I actually wish I would have done to start this video off, to show you guys how I use my free 100 charges from the daily rewards, is what I would have done is I would have used this lowest team because I want all of the 80th, Marvel 80th points. I would have used this lowest team here for 3 attacks in tier 1. And then I would have picked my next worst 80th, Marvel 80th, probably the Brawler group, which is, I think it's Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, Deadpool, a couple of the other Marvel tune or 80th Brawler tunes, and Spider-Man, and use those as the other 25. So anyway, that's how I would have brought the 100 charges that you get free into this, but I'd use it specifically on those Marvel tunes at Marvel 80th tunes at tier 1. Not later, do it early so you know you're gonna win. So now that we're done with the Blitz, you know, we can go in here and, you know, see if there's any looks like there's no milestones to claim. Looks like we've got a couple strong blitzers in there as well, which is nice. This is the Alliance one. Again, the scoring, like I said earlier, is to win some blitzes, so it's starting to go a little bit slower there. And then the Orbs away here, you know. So let's actually open some of these. Looks like I got 3 Marvel Orbs. The Orbs themselves aren't that great, honestly, if you look at them. You know, there's some gold off to the side, but, you know, the highest 8 Namor, and that's a 3% chance. Otherwise, it's, you know, a whole bunch. Captain Marvel would be nice. Colossus would be nice. Falcon would be nice. Thing would be nice. For me, Thor would be nice, and obviously Namor. So Namor's got the highest drop rate, you know, even at this, you know, 5 shard. I've only gotten a couple, which is kind of hilarious, but anyway, let's see what we get here. Nice purple. All right, nice. Got a 5 Namor there, so getting closer. Punisher, it's Ultimus, and then Thor. I actually don't mind getting Thor because I'm sure at some point he'll get a rework. And then, you know, if you see if there's any other milestones that you got, and it looks like we got some, probably from opening some orbs, then you go collect some more Namor shards. And so that's kind of how it's, you know, done there. All right, so like I said, some of you guys might already be doing stuff like this. Some of you might already know about it. Some of you might know about pocket blitzing, auto losing to blitz on tier 1. That's fine. My hope is that this is for people who maybe didn't know that. I'm seeing a lot of newer players in the game, you know, folks that maybe just don't know some of these things, that even if they're not newer, but they just didn't realize that these type of tips were out there, these ways to optimize things were out there. So that's what I'm doing this video for, so that it can hopefully help you guys out in that regard. And as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by. You know, hammer down that like button, click the subscription button, you know, the notification bell, share with your friends, you know, etc., etc. I'll probably share this one on Reddit just to try to get it out there a little bit more for those who might not know. Feel free to comment, etc. And, you know, join the Discord channel. You know, I've got that in my description so that we can kind of chat off of the YouTube, you know, in Discord, so we can just, you know, chat about whatever. Maybe there's videos you want to see. You know, so come join that channel. It's kind of starting to get going a little bit now. You know, it's still in its early stages, but it's something I want to kind of share with the community. So, as always, appreciate you guys stopping by, and hope to see you again soon. Thanks.